to check W3ON, operating as W3OC, net control for the Two Rivers Amateur Radio Club net. This net meets every Monday here at 8 p.m. on 146.73 megahertz, WA3 PVD repeater of the Gateway FM Association. Membership in the Two Rivers ARC is not required to check into this net, as all radio amateurs are welcome. If you like information about the Two Rivers Amateur Radio Club, you can write to us at P.O. Box 225, Greenock, PA, zip code 15047. That's P.O. Box 225, Greenock, PA, zip code 15047. We're also on the Internet's World Wide Web at www.trarc.net. www.trarc.net. Radio Club meetings are held on the third Tuesday of every month except August and December, starting at 7 p.m. at the Blaine Hill Volunteer Fire Department Social Hall, 409 Oxford Avenue in Elizabeth, PA. The door open is for check-in. Is there emergency or priority traffic at this time? Not heard. Please, does anyone have a listing of silent keys and any radio amateurs who recently passed away? Not heard. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'll be taking some check-ins here in a moment. Please, when you check into this net, give a call sign slowly and phonetically. It means spell out your call sign and state if you have any announcements or comments for this net. Okay, at this time, I'm looking at the officers of the Two Rivers ARC wish to check into the net.
Copy at 3SC. 3SC, please recognize Kilo Bravo 3 Sugar Tango, Baldwin, Elizabeth Township. Evening, Chuck. Evening to the net, no traffic.
W3OC. Please recognize November 3, Juliet, Hotel Bravo, Jim and McKeesport. Good evening to everyone on the net, no traffic. W3OC. This is Whiskey, Uniform 3 Uniform, Kurt and Elizabeth, no traffic. W3OC. This is Kilo Bravo 3, Whiskey Papa, Bill, Jefferson Hill. Good evening. Okay, thank you. I got Kilo Bravo 3 Sugar Tango, November 3 Juliet Hotel Bravo, Whiskey Uniform 3 Uniform, and Kilo Bravo 3 Whiskey Papa. Any other members of the board, Two Rivers ARC Board of Directors, wishing to check into the Two Rivers net? Okay. Now station. We're operating mobile, portable, routes out of Allegheny County. W3OC, WE3PVD, Andy, West Mifflin, portable.
W3OC. W3OC, please recognize Whiskey America 3, Alpha Hotel Charlie, Antonio Seri in Pittsburgh. Good evening to you, Chuck, and everyone else on the net. I have no traffic.
W3OC, here's Kilo Bravo 3, Victor Sierra. W3OC. Please copy Kilo Bravo 3, Oscar X-Ray Hotel, Bill, Hancock County, West Virginia. Good evening, Chuck. W3OC. Kilo Charlie 3, Alpha Sierra, November, Dawn, and Westmoreland County. Good evening, Chuck. No traffic. W3OC. Please copy Alpha Delta 3, Alpha Alpha B in Oakland, no traffic. Portable. November 3, Zulu, Charlie Hotel, portable. 3OC. Recognize November 3, Tango, Alpha Uniform, and 3, TAU, Norman 10, Westmoreland County, good evening, Chuck, no traffic. Okay, thank you. I got it all that time. Thank you. I got Whiskey America 3 Papa Bravo Delta Portable, Whiskey America 3 Alpha Hotel Charlie, Kilo Bravo 3 Victor Sierra Papa, Kilo Bravo 3 Oscar X-Ray Hotel, Kilo Charlie 3 Alpha Sierra November, Alpha Delta 3 Alpha Alpha Portable, November 3 Zulu Charlie Hotel Portable, November 3 Tango Alpha uniform. Anybody else mobile, portable, or outside of Allegheny County for the Two Rivers Net? Alrighty. Okay, now we'll open up for general check-in. If anyone else has to check in, like to do so, call it.
73SC. 73SC, please recognize. Kilo Charlie 3, November Foxtrot, Mike and Fred Thompson. Good evening to Chuck and to everyone else on the net. No traffic. W3SC. Sirius Kilo 3 Hotel, India Romeo, Merle, and Elizabeth Township. Good evening, Chuck. Good evening, Net. No comment.
W3OC. This is W3 Sierra, Yankee Radio, Bob and White. Good evening, Chuck. Good evening to the net.
W3OC. This is Kilo Alpha 3, Kilo Sierra Papa. Jim and Carnegie. No comment.
Okay, thank you. Kilo Charlie 3 November Fox, Kilo 3 Hotel India Radio, Whiskey 3 Sierra Yankee Radio, and Kilo Alpha 3 Kilo Sugar Papa. Anybody else, please? Okay, alright, well, we'll stop there. Thank you all. Thanks for taking the time to check in this evening. Even if you didn't check it in, you're just listening, that's okay too. You're encouraged to do this. We do run this net's basically an information net, and has information about the Rate the Two Rivers Club and also local activities and things like that. Okay, so let's see. Some upcoming Two Rivers activities. The Two Rivers ARC has two other radio nets during the week. On Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m., we have the TRARC Gap Net. It meets on the 147.12 Link 442.250 megahertz repeater system. Usually Jim N3GHP is the host over there, so you're welcome to check in with us and join us over there for the chit chat and other stuff that we do on the Gap Net. Okay, and we also on Thursday nights we have another sort of form of a Gap Net. It's called the TRARC 10 meter net. It meets at 8 p.m. on Thursday evenings at frequency 28450 megahertz on the 10 meter band. Radio Club also has on the second Saturday of every month, we have the Two Rivers ARC Hampton X Breakfast at the Gathering, where the members and their families can meet at a restaurant for some breakfast and some chit chat. That's held at the Dice Cornerstone Diner, 620 Long Run Road in McKeesburg, Pennsylvania. That starts at 9 a.m. Okay, upcoming activities. Let's see here. The Two Rivers ARC Hamfest is scheduled for April the 3rd, 2022 at the McKeesburg Palisades and Event Center, 105th Avenue in McKeesburg, Pennsylvania. There's a lot of information on the club website, www.trc.net, and on the Hamfest webpage includes information on the prizes and how to obtain prize tickets in advance if you wish to, and also information on exhibitors if you wish to be an exhibitor at our Hamfest. From what I hear, things are starting to perk up a little bit with that, and I think we're also going to be over at the Wireless Association of South Hills Hamfest on February the 27th. So be sure to stop by and say hello. Okay, look at the calendar of things I can see on the calendar here. February 19th is a Breeze Shooters Ground Wave contest, the first of their three 10-meter contests. That'll be CW mode 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. on the 10-meter band. And February 27th is the Watchfest Wireless Association Untitled Watchfest 2022, Home Economics Building, 3735 Buffalo Drive in South Park Township, Pennsylvania. Okay, that's a list of some of the upcoming activities. It's funny, I thought I had more stuff, but I guess I don't. Okay. Okay, I'll take a standby. Anybody need to repeat anything they've heard so far? This is W306. Okay, alrighty. Alright, well let me do some switches and be on here with Newsline tonight. Hope everybody's I see it's warming up outside, at least it was the last time I looked. Which is a good thing. Maybe we got spared with all that bad weather that the East Coast got here over the weekend. But I guess our snow is slowly starting to melt away, which is a good thing. With that, let me switch over to Newsline. W306.
Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2309 with a release date of Friday, January 28, 2022 to following 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The following is a QST. There's progress in restoring some of Tonga's communications. Researchers create a new transistor that uses sound waves, and hands in the UK prepare for the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. All this and more as Amateur Radio Newsline report number 2309 comes your way right now. From around the world, this is Newsline, Amateur Radio's first independent all-the-air news and bulletin service. Now, reporting from Wadsworth, Ohio, here's Stephen Kinford, N8WB. Our top story this week takes us to the struggling island nation of Tonga, which is still cut off from the world following back-to-back natural disasters. Hands continue to keep a watchful eye. Jim Mason, ZL2VHF, picks up the story from there. Efforts have been ongoing to restore communications to Tonga, where an undersea volcano left the vital fiber optic cable broken beneath the ocean, isolating the island nation. According to a BBC report, 2G wireless service has been set up on the archipelago's main island with the help of a satellite dish from the University of the South Pacific. Other than the intermittent service of satellite phones, however, outside contact has been limited as the country struggles with a contaminated water supply and other concerns brought on by a subsequent tsunami. Tonga apparently has no active amateur radio operators, and hands in the immediate Pacific region have reported that the amateur HF bands are presently unusable. Submarine VHF bands are said to be active. Hayden Honeywood VK7HH is among those amateurs using YouTube and other social media channels to provide updates whenever possible. One of Hayden's most recent accounts came from Rolly 01BQD, whose friend in Tonga operates a 1 kilowatt broadcast radio station at 91.3 FM. The station was unaffected by the tsunami and is carrying public service messages. Meanwhile, New Zealand's Ministry of Foreign Affairs estimates it will take at least a month, if not more, before the cable can be fixed. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Jim Meacham, the L2BHF. The U.S. FAA has made major progress on the issues of interference between 5G transmissions and airline altimeters. Ken Peterson, KC0DJY, brings us this update. For some models of Boeing, Airbus, and Embraer aircraft, radio interference isn't just an annoyance, it has the potential for deadly consequences. That was the root of the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration's concern about 5G cell phone signals, which use the same C-band spectrum as some of the airline's altimeters. The FAA said planes landing in low visibility conditions risk interference from mobile phones, naming Verizon and AT&T as two of the carriers. Now, in a dramatic turnaround of its position, the FAA has said more than 3/4 of the planes have altimeters that can filter out 5G transmissions and are in the clear. Some telecom and consumer advocates, such as attorney Harold Feld, publicly criticized the FAA for taking too long to evaluate altimeters after the FCC approved the cellular carrier's use of the C-band in 2020. According to an article in the RS Technical website, the FAA only began vetting the altimeters in February 2021 once the FCC had auctioned off the spectrum to the carriers. The Ars Technica article said that in 40 other countries where C-band spectrum is used for cellular service, there have been no reports of 5G causing trouble with altimeters. In the U.S., FCC standards place a 200 megahertz guard band between the cellular carriers and the frequencies used by the altimeters. More approvals are expected soon. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Kent Peterson, KC0DGY. Meanwhile, the Portuguese communication regulator cracked down last year on what it called abuse and interference on a number of frequencies, including maritime mobile and amateur bands. IARU Region 1 reported that ANACOM, the Portuguese communication authority in partnership with the maritime police, sought to verify the proper and legal use of radios by conducting inspections on vessels between the ports of Comia and Peniche. According to the report, unauthorized use of frequencies was the most common violation. The report indicated that such practices, in addition to being illegal, can cause interference, especially to radios being used for emergency response. ANACOM noted in the report that it was leaving the matter of sanctions to the maritime police. There will be big celebrations everywhere in the UK this year for the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. Jeremy Booth, G4NDH, tells us how ham radio is getting involved.
Hams in the UK who are planning to operate this June in celebration of the Queen's Platinum Jubilee should keep their eyes on the website of the Radio Society of Great Britain. Ofcom has granted permission for call signs to include the special regional secondary locator letter Q, but its use will require a notice of variation. The website, rsgb.org, will carry those details shortly. Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II is Britain's longest reigning monarch and thus the first to celebrate a Platinum Jubilee. Special use call signs have been used by hams for previous occasions, including the Queen's Golden Jubilee in 2002 and her Diamond Jubilee in 2012. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Jeremy Boot, G4NJH.
The two newest members of the FCC Advisory Council are radio amateurs. LMB KB3 TZD has the details.
When the Federal Communications Commission's Technical Advisory Council holds its first meeting of the year on February 28th, two amateur radio operators will be part of the proceedings for the first time. Greg Lappin, N9GL, chairman of the ARRL RF Safety Committee, and Michelle Thompson, W5NYB, CEO of the Open Research Institute, have joined the council following their appointment by FCC Chairwoman Jessica Rosenworcel. The FCC relies on the council's advice on a number of issues, including artificial intelligence, emerging wireless technologies, and advanced spectrum sharing technologies. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Stella B, KB3 TZD.
If you know a software innovator who's devoted to helping amateur radio operations improve, you still have a little time to submit their name for the Amateur Radio Software Award. The deadline is February 14th. The international award is given each year to developers of creative open source programs that follow good development practices and are available free to users. Previous winners have included Jordan Shearer, KN4CRD for JS8 Call, and Anthony Good, K3NG for the K3NG Arduino CW tier. For details and to find the official nomination form, visit arsaward.com. The winner will be announced in April. Time for you to identify your station. We are the Amateur Radio Newsline heard on bulletin stations around the world, including the BK3HJQ repeater in Victoria, Australia, and the Echolink Conference Server 69556 and IRLP node 9556 on Sundays at 9 a.m. local time.
W3OC, net control for 2%.
A Texas amateur known for his devotion to NASA programs and to the Military Auxiliary Radio System, or MARS, has become a silent T. Chuck Biggs, Sr., WA5GNB and KC5RG, died on January 18th in hospice care in Houston. The Arkansas native was a U.S. Air Force veteran who took a civilian position with NASA's then New Manned Spacecraft Center, which was later to be renamed the Johnson Space Center. His 3 decades of effort with NASA led him to ultimately become vice president of the Manned Space Flight Education Foundation. Chuck has also been involved in TRARC, the Shuttle Amateur Radio Experiment, and Oscar, the orbiting satellite carrying amateur radio programs. The Space Center named him Ham Radio Operator of the Year in 1987. A bronze plaque hangs at the Space Center today, bearing his name and likeness. Chuck was 84. Imagine a transistor that uses sound waves. Researchers have done more than imagine it. They've created it. Andy Morrison, K9 AWM, explains. They're called acoustic topological transistors, and unlike devices presently in use, they operate using sound waves, not electrons. Researchers say that one of the transistor's key assets is its ability to function with almost no dissipation of energy. The electrons are designed to flow with no resistance. According to a January 19th post on the IEEE Spectrum website, the creation of these transistors were made possible with the use of acoustical topological insulators. This follows the development in 2007 of something related, electronic topological insulators. These insulators protect electron flow from any disturbances. Oxford University researcher Harris Peary said the development of these newest transistors will find application in such fields as one-way acoustic propagation, ultrasound imaging, acoustic noise reduction, echolocation, acoustic cloaking, and acoustic communications. He said that because the physics of sound waves and the physics of light waves are so alike, the same design principles that scientists use for creating acoustic topological transistors would be useful as well for similar devices using light. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Andy Morrison, K9 AWM. Hams in Germany are being reassured that their personal data has not been affected by cyber attack on the TRARC website. Ed Durant, DD5LP, tells us more.
The Deutsche Amateur Radio Club is reassuring hams in Germany that a cyber attack on the group's website, which exploited the vulnerability of a plugin, does not appear to have compromised any members' data. The TRARC said it successfully halted the January 15th attack and will not restore the full website to online status until it is convinced the site is completely secure again. A statement by the TRARC board reaffirmed to members that their personal data is kept in folders that are distinct from the website, and members' passwords to the website itself are stored encrypted. The board said it believed the attack was automated and was not launched specifically to collect members' data. Meanwhile, an IT company has been asked to conduct a forensic investigation. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Ed Durant, DD5LP.
The Nordic Radio Society's HF Conference promises to be an international event as we hear from Jeremy Booth, G4NJH.
33 years after their first HF conference, the Nordic Radio Society is preparing to host a return to Fura, the small Swedish island in the Baltic Sea, where all previous such events have taken place. This year's conference is scheduled from the 15th to the 17th of August and should as usual draw a substantial international attendance. They've been held consistently every 3 years. Organisers note on their webpage that the popularity of the programme has grown substantially since the first in 1986. The agenda now including exhibits and talks with participants from all around the world. The Society encourages interested attendees to submit presentation papers now, the deadline being the 15th of February. Previous conferences have addressed such subjects as propagation, building resiliency for HF networks, achieving higher efficiency using low bandwidth links, and robust communication through HF skywave channels using a filter bank spread spectrum technique. To learn more about the conference, visit the link that appears in the text version of this week's newscast. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Jeremy Booth, G4NJH.
In the world of DX from the Maldives, looking for Henry LU4DXU operating as 8Q7AH between February 8th and 15th. Henry will be using various HF bands, QSL direct to his home call sign. Listen for Matthias DL4MM active as P4/DL4MM from Aruba until the 2nd of February. He will be on various HF bands, focusing on the lower bands and 30 17 and 12 meters. Matthias will be using CW, SSB, and FT8. QSL via DL4MM direct or via the Bureau Club Log or LOTW. Listen for him in the CQ 160 meters CW contest on January 28th through the 30th, where he will be using the call sign P40AA. Alex OE3DMA will be operating as OE19AAW from Altenburg, Austria, during the 19th Antarctic Activity Week taking place between February 21st and 27th. Send QSL to his normal call sign. Listen for the air W2APF on the air as BP2MDX from Montserrat Island until February 18th. Listen on 80 to 10 meters for the air using CW and SSB. Send QSL to his home call sign. If you've been chasing operators in Italy for the WRTC award, the scheme resets every month with the start of February. You have a chance to work all the Italian special event WRTC stations again starting February 1st and see how far of the monthly ranking tables you can get. Full details are in the rules at WRTC2022.it. Our final story is about a changing of the guard of sorts aboard the International Space Station. Ed Durant, D5LB, tells us what's been happening up there.
After nearly 6 years of loyal service, Ed and Izzy have been told their services are no longer needed. European Space Agency astronaut Matthias Maurer, KI-5KFH, DP0ISS, broke the news to them recently aboard the International Space Station, where the two AstroPi computers have operated for a half dozen years. Matthias completed the installation of their replacements, which had been brought to the ISS in December on board a Falcon 9 supply rocket. The units comprise Raspberry Pi 4 Model B hardware, a 12.3 megapixel camera, and a range of sensors. The AstroPi units are capable of uploading code submissions from two programs, Mission Zero and Mission Space Lab, both of which are used to nurture students' coding skills. The new units have greater capacity than Ed and Izzy and are expected to outperform them dramatically. Now, this changing of the guard should have come as no surprise to Ed and Izzy, who were originally installed on the ISS by British ESA astronaut Tim Peake, KG5BVI GB0 ISS. The ESA gave a very public preview of their replacements in September of last year, calling the replacements essential, adding that the original batteries were due to expire soon. There was no word as to whether Ed and Izzy would be given a formal farewell or even offered severance pay. The names of the new AstroPis have yet to be disclosed. For Amateur Radio Newsline, I'm Ed Durant, DD5LP.
With thanks to the ARRL, ARS technical website, the ARX Awards website, the BDC, CQ Magazine, the DARC, David Behar, K7DB, DX-World.net, Hayden Honeywood, VK7HHIEEE, Spectrum, Nordic Radio Society, QRZ.com, Radio Society of Great Britain, Southgate Amateur Radio News, Shortwave Radio.de, Wireless Institute of Australia, and you, our listeners. That's all from the Amateur Radio Newsline. You can write to us at newsline@airnewsline.org. We remind our listeners that Amateur Radio Newsline is an all-volunteer non-profit organization that incurs expenses for its continued operation. If you wish to support us, please visit our website at arnewsline.org and know that we appreciate you all. For now, we've carried Eve Murray, KD2GUT, the news desk in New York, and our news team worldwide. I'm Stephen Kinford, NAWB in Wadsworth, Ohio, 673. And as always, we thank you for listening. Amateur Radio Newsline is copyright 2022, all rights reserved.
Okay, it's W3OC and control for 2 set 10 Kings to this week's Newsline transmission.
Good evening, 8:29 p.m.
Okay, that's kind of what I have, information I have on file here at the moment. I'll try to have some more information next week regarding BE exam sessions and things like that from here in the local area. I don't have that information, at least not at the moment. Okay, with that, we'll take some late check-ins. And I'd also like to check in if that's what's going on.
W3OC, WA3TSS checking in.
Pacific. Okay, got the Whiskey America 3 Tango Fox Sugar and Kilo Bravo 3 Kilo Bravo Hotel. Anyone else, please?
W3OC, this is Kilo Alpha 3 Echo Kilo Oscar. Good evening to the net. No traffic.
That's a new voice.
Okay, Kilo Alpha 3 Echo Kilo Oscar. Anybody else? Just on a side note, I was just looking around the internet while Newsline was playing, and I noticed that the solar flux is up to 130 the last reporting period, and that's updated every 3 hours, I believe, through station WWB. And it shows 10 meters with a fair chance of operating today. With supporting radio communications on long distances. So I hope that will keep up. And it's probably part of cycle cycle 25, I think they're talking about. And maybe we'll see some enhanced propagation. For sure gives us a chance to work some DX stations on 10 meters and maybe even frequencies higher or even lower than that. So might take a look. Solar flux index is I don't know how exactly to explain it, but it's a result of monitoring stations, including by NOAA, NOAA. They listen for noise levels on the 10 centimeter band, I believe it is, and it's measured all over the Earth by various locations. I'm going over my head. Okay, with that, and also there's been reports in the shortwave listening report recently for the last month. There's been an increase in activity on what they call the utility bands or military bands around 4 megahertz, 4.5 and above, and also in the 8 megahertz band of broadcast. Some of it digital and some not. One frequency that's noted a lot on is 4625 kilohertz. There's a station here it's called by the shortwave listening the buzzer, B-U-Z-Z-R, and apparently it puts out digital information of some type, and some people think it's coming out of Russia and stuff like that. So, and also on the 8 megahertz band and even higher, there's been EAM, emergency action messages that appeared at times. Of course, you don't know what they're saying. They're in phone operation, and some of them come from a system called the HFCBS, I think, or something like that it's called. I'm going over it. With that, I'm going to close the net out this hour, and let's see, how do we have? Okay, I caught 20 check-ins this evening. I thank everybody for taking the time to check us this evening. Everybody have a good week and try to work at the X if you can on the HF bands. With this, it's W3OC, also known as W3OM, closing at 2 Rivers. That term repeated back to John Hughes. Thanks.